You know what one of our favorite hearing aids has been here recently?
I know.
You know? It's the Phonak Lumity.
I know.
Phonak Lumity has been awesome. We've really loved this hearing aid. And sometimes we get asked the question, well, what's the difference between this new Phonak Lumity and the previous generation, which is called the Phonak
Paradise.
Ooh, it's got a nice
Paradise.
name. I mean, we like the Paradise too, but
the name's better.
But well, then Lumity and Paradise. I don't know.
I'll choose Paradise.
They're good names.
When it comes to hearing devices, right off the bat, the packaging. These things show up, and you've got the Paradise. Charger's big.
It's a big charger.
You've got this principle of I can't get my hearing aid out unless I've been taught to rock it, backwards and out. Even I'm struggling.
When you're out
here.
of practice.
There we go.
Okay.
Finally got it out. So you can see that the Paradise had an issue just in the charger alone.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, show them how awesome this. Look at just the size, and then you've got these little magnetic dimples on the bottom that just kind of suck the device in and out. It's way easier.
So yeah, Paradise, big charger, kind of hard to get in and out. The Lumity, little charger, really easy to get in and out. And when you do it yourself, you can feel the magnet kind of grab it. It's kind of a fun little
much
feel.
Improved.
But it's easier. Much improved. So yeah, right off the bat, just looking at the two.
It's like, which one do I want? Probably the Lumity.
The Lumity.
I know.
But there are some technical things that are different too. And we won't get too technical, but we kind of wanted to walk through some differences between these two.
Yeah, we've got the spreadsheet up, Lumity versus Paradise. Right off the bat, one of the most important things here is the improved noise management. And when individuals come in to hear, and they want to really do their best, usually the one environment that they're talking about is when I'm with my family, or when I'm at church, or when I'm in the car. It usually has to do with background noise. And I love that one of the things they went right after, they went right to the meat and potatoes, and that is, I need to hear better in background noise. And I think we're seeing that.
I think we are too.
I like that part. For the Lumity, it's a more efficient, it's a more flexible device. And that's one of the points here. It's flexible, it's easy to use. So
Phonak language, they call their automatic features of their hearing aid AutoSense. So their AutoSense operating system has improved, where this new Lumity device is better in background noise, and that's a big deal. Like you say, it's the #1 complaint of people with hearing aids. They want to hear better in background noise, and the Lumity delivers.
It's nice. And then the next one, as we move down here, it says, more patients can enjoy reduced listening effort. So we're talking about the strain and the effort it takes to just do your best in each different environment. And that is a big deal. This idea of I'm not fatigued as much at the end of the day because my device is making my listening abilities easier. That's a wonderful thing.
I agree, and again, in Phonak language, they're using the language here, dynamic noise cancellation, and there are a lot of dynamic noises around us. You might get a dish that clanks, you might get a door that slams, you might get something that's this is an impulse noise it shocks you a little bit, and this dynamic noise cancellation is improved in the Lumity. So I think you get a smoother, more natural experience in listening to sound. So.
And we've seen that in our own clinical observations with the patients, is that they try different devices. They put the Lumity on, they're in the kitchen, they're putting ice in a cup, different things like that, and they do say, this is a little more comfortable. It's a little bit easier. And this ease of listening, we hear them say, it feels easier. So.
And if I can give a personal testimonial, I've worn both of these too, and I know you have too. We love to wear hearing aids and play with them. And when you wear the Lumity, it is nice.
It's nice.
It just sounds smooth.
Easy, like Sunday morning.
Something about this dynamic noise cancellation.
That one, they put that on there, and I'm like, is that real? I think it's real.
To me, this was real. Yeah.
So that's really good.
Well, tell me about the app. The app
so the app has some features. So there's some sliders where you can slide how much noise you're willing to let in and how much noise you don't want to come in. You would think you don't want any noise, but the truth is, with compression, meaning the circuit is trying to compress down the noise, if you add too much compression in any of these hearing devices, it does kind of squelch or reduce or dampen the normal characteristics of the speech you're trying to acquire. So if you're really trying to go for as much speech as possible, you don't want to just slam the no noise, because the speech will become a little muffled, it'll become not quite as clear and sharp. So you do have to play with that to be comfortable, but how cool that the patients have that ability to choose.
That's what I was going to say. It's nice to have
More
options.
flexibility is good.
Some people don't want to play with it much, and the AutoSense is very automatic. But if you like to play with it a little bit, the slider on the app gives you just a little more flexibility and a little more chance to play with it. It's nice.
Yeah. And then, like classic Phonak devices, we can customize invisible ear molds. They have a great ear mold lab. We can really customize each hearing loss to the anatomy and to the way it needs to calibrate. They've done a much better job with that. So in general, we would say, is the device very flexible? Is the device really easy to use? Is the device comfortable in noise? It's a really good hearing device.
It is. Should we hit in one or two more of these?
You bet.
I like the own voice pickup.
Yes.
So that's on here too. When you first put on a hearing aid, people don't realize that a hearing aid is a mechanical device. Electronic device. You put it on and you hear your own voice differently. If you've ever listened to your own voice on a recording,
and then you play
think,
it back.
Is that me?
I don't like me.
Yeah, almost universally, right? We're like, I don't like the way my own voice sounds.
That's not my voice.
That's not how I sound.
Right.
Well, when you listen to yourself through a hearing aid, you're hearing yourself through the device, through an external microphone, and you hear yourself different. And almost universally, the first experience that people have when they put it on, they say, oh, my own voice sounds kind of funny.
You sound fine, but why
I'm hearing myself funny. And one thing that this new Lumity has done is it's improved your own voice pickup. They've done that by they say it's a better frequency range for better sound quality. So a broader frequency range, I should say. And so they say that the own voice pickup sounds a little bit better. And between the two, that's a nice thing. That's a nice feature.
It is, and our patients comment on that for sure. So, yeah, kudos to the Lumity, made by Phonak.
Yep.
Much better case, much better charger. Great device for any type of patient, whether it's a mild loss, a severe to profound loss. The Lumity can really handle the tough challenges. So, one last thing that we were talking about, some of the advantages to the new Lumity, it continues to be a specialist with the cell phones.
Yeah.
In particular, it does a uniquely seamless and it's very efficient with how it works with the Android phones. It does work with the iPhone just fine, but some of the other hearing aid manufacturers, some of the other hearing aid companies, they do a really good job with all the cell phones, but Android phones with some of the other companies, they do a good job, but not like a great or excellent job. I feel like the Phonak Lumity does an excellent job with the cell phones.
I do too.
I
would say that, if you're an Android user, Phonak is probably your best bet for the most consistent Bluetooth connection.
Yeah, if you enjoy interfacing between your phone and your device, because not everyone does, but if that's something is important, like I want to take my phone calls through my hearing device, I want to stream audiobooks or music, Phonak it's great.
And both the Lumity and the Paradise do a good job of it. And the reason is because Phonak is using traditional Bluetooth. When we hear Bluetooth, we're used to it. We get Bluetooth in our car. You might have Bluetooth speakers. You might have Bluetooth
Insert
headsets
buds,
and things. And Phonak uses that traditional Bluetooth that all of those other devices use. The other manufacturers use a low energy Bluetooth, and the low energy Bluetooth just tends to be a little more fickle, especially with Android products.
For whatever reason.
It drops out a little more, whereas this traditional Bluetooth, it might drain a little more battery, but it's just more consistent.
Yeah. And so as we talk about the Paradise and the Lumity, both of these have been excellent with pairing up with the Android, the Bluetooth phone. So, looking at how much we've appreciated the advancements between the Paradise and the Lumity, one thing that is a little bit interesting is on occasion we get an individual who has a anatomy, their ear canal is larger. It's a bigger volume. And the Phonak devices, and it doesn't matter if it's the Paradise or the Lumity, that's one thing that's been a little bit challenging is we have to watch the anatomy of the patient, because if it is too big inside, the canal's too big, it tends to, it's like the sound doesn't quite get to the eardrum in quite an efficient way. It leaks so much that the device tries to clip the gain, or it tries to clip out the clarity, it tries to clip the high frequencies. And so that's one thing that some patients we try to use Phonak with, and they're just not a great candidate for that device because they're not getting enough help. It's too comfortable. They're not getting enough extra help in those difficult environments because of the interaction between how the microphone is picking up the sound and then how the little receiver inside is trying to push that sound towards the eardrum. The way their feedback management system is, or in other words, the way they're trying to reduce the squawking or the squealing or the feedback of a hearing aid, they do a good job with that, but maybe a little too good of a job because now we're not getting quite enough help, not enough clarity. And again, that's once in a while.
Yeah.
You know, it's not every patient.
If we're being nitpicky, yeah.
Yeah, if we're being a little nitpicky here, that's one thing I wish we could improve on with the Phonak.
I agree. Sometimes patients end up what we call a little underfit.
Right.
They're not getting quite as much help.
So this is your target, and
as we'd like, especially in those high frequencies. Yeah, that's maybe one weakness. If I were to maybe say another weakness, I actually really love their accessories. So a lot of hearing aids have accessories that can be used.
Use with the TV.
Yeah, so something that plugs into the TV allows you to hear the TV. They have an external microphone called the Roger. And the Roger is a microphone.
Roger that.
That if someone else speaks into it, it broadcasts directly to the hearing aids.
Yep.
And it's actually really good. So the negative is not the quality of the Roger. The negative is the cost.
Right.
So the Roger is very fancy. It's a very sophisticated external mic. It's a detail, and it really is good. But boy, it's a little pricey. So in terms of comparing it to other manufacturers,
it's tough.
This external mic is quite expensive.
We would definitely choose the Lumity over the Paradise all day long. And overall, solid device.
Really good.
Really excited to have this in our clinic. We've researched it for years as they've gone from the Marvel to the Paradise and now to the Lumity. We've been watching them improve things. These improvements are appreciated not just by us as clinicians. Our patients are really liking this product.
We love it.